to Cryptopia. So I'm here with Zudao and Josh, one of their core team members, and he's basically been so gracious to come on to our show to tell us a little bit about their project, when they're launching, and the ins and the outs. I'm really bullish on this one. So with no further ado, Josh, welcome to Cryptopia.
Hey, John. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Yeah, we're also super bullish on ZooDAO, so that's great. So essentially,
awesome.
Yeah, do you want me to kind of give you the kind of the broad overview?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I guess what I'd be saying, I know you guys are getting ready to launch pretty soon. I was just kind of curious, when are you launching? And then also, could you maybe talk about some of your partners and then maybe give us the overview?
Yeah, certainly. So we're launching super soon. I don't want to release the exact date on this video because it's still an internal timeline, but I think it's pretty safe to say very soon. It's a matter of days rather than a matter of months. So if that's any clue.
Awesome. All right, wink.
Yeah. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
we've been in build now for 2 years. So like from initial brainstorming the idea to the refining the product, it's been like an almost 2-year process at this point. So we're super excited to be finally getting there.
Amazing. And what are some of your guys' partners? You know, like who are you working with? You know, what's some of the bullish news you got there?
Yeah, so this is all pre-launch. We're pre-launch at this point, but we've made quite a few powerful allies, which I'll get to later in the deck. But we've partnered with some of the largest and most well-respected NFT projects in the industry. So like Hash Masks, Mooncats, Fluff World, etc.
Wow.
Ones with crazy volume and really active communities. So
amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Well, I guess if you don't mind, if you could dig into the pitch deck, kind of walk us through what is ZooDAO, how does it work, and why do people want to get involved?
Awesome. All right, let me see if I can. All right, so essentially, I'll just give you like the real quick backstory as to why we started ZooDAO in the first place. You guys and your watchers have probably been around the space quite some time, and they've heard this term NFT utility being thrown around quite a lot.
Yes.
So unfortunately, a lot of the solutions to NFT utility just completely failed because quite often the projects themselves would implement a staking solution for their NFT and then print some rewards token that would give you some benefits to the community. So quite often this resulted in a completely inflationary token, which ultimately ended up being useless. And we see this like time and time again, and people keep doing it. People keep trying to implement the same thing. And some projects even tried to create liquidity pools for these useless inflationary tokens. So we've seen like quite often that unless they make things perfect, unless they have like a really balanced tokenomics, a really strong use case for their token, then it's really difficult. And there are outliers, but most of them unfortunately fail. So and we've seen like on the liquidity pool side, we've seen like projects like Cool Cats, for example. They tried to create a liquidity pool for the token, and of course the token it dives off a cliff. There's never any reason to buy the milk token.
Of course.
And the only utility you got was from dumping it. So this is one of the problems that we want to solve.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
that's
like,
amazing.
On like a universal scale, NFT utility hasn't been answered. So we want to be the hub, the go-to solution for NFT utility for all NFTs, regardless of what their market conditions are, regardless of whether the developer is rugged and sat on a beach somewhere. If there's a willing community participant, ZooDAO can take them. And we're actually the first NFT utility, universal solution to NFT utility, which can handle every single NFT. So I'll go through.
So basically, if you're holding an NFT in your wallet, you can use it in ZooDAO. Basically, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so the contract needs to be made eligible in the dApp, but we accept any NFT as long as they're not, pornographic, offensive to people, this sort of thing,
Gotcha. No, it's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So
well, could you maybe walk me through a little bit how that all works and like how do you guys actually do that integration?
Yeah, sure. So just to kind of give you the secondary element of ZooDAO is the making DeFi fun. This is like the core aspect, because right now DeFi is super, super daunting to interact and engage with. I'm sure you remember your first steps in the space. Your viewers will remember their first steps. Interacting with MetaMask is terrifying, right? It's like you're signing away your soul for some unknown reason. And then it takes quite a lot of time to get to like interacting with something like you're in finance or the other elements of the space, which are super, super important. So the NFT boom brought all of these people into crypto, which is something I'm super grateful for the NFT space for. But the problem is they're not interacting with DeFi. They're not interacting with other chains. They're not exploring all of the benefits that the space has to offer. So ZooDAO's goal, aside from providing this utility solution to NFTs, it's to really bring the masses into DeFi by making it really fun, really accessible, and really engaging for people. So yeah, I'll move on to ZooDAO's solution. I like it. So basically, this is like the real simple version. So voters and stakers will deposit their assets to ZooDAO. They'll vote on staked NFTs with liquidity, with assets. So you can see single tokens would be sent to protocols like You're in Finance and Moonwell, all in the background. The user never has to go to interact with these scary DeFi protocols. They're just voting on an NFT. And then with LP tokens, the LPs would be sent to protocols like SushiSwap, SpookySwap, etc., etc. So what this does is it generates returns. So when you go to a DeFi protocol, it usually offers you some return on your investment. And this return on the investment through ZooDAO goes to the prize pools, which are sent then to the winners of the NFT battles, who claim their rewards, and the cycle repeats. So basically, the game is entirely no loss. So your NFTs are perfectly safe. They're not getting liquidated in any scenario. Your voting liquidity is perfectly safe because it's just the yield that's generated. So that's up for grabs. So it's not like a gambling game where you have the possibility of I've bet $1,000 on my NFT. That remains yours.
Gotcha.
So to give you a little bit of a higher level overview of the dApp. So in the arena, you can stake your NFTs in stage 1. So all of the NFTs, so thousands and thousands of different NFTs being staked from a variety of different collections, which causes this endless stream of cross-community engagement between projects. And then in stage 2, voters can vote on staked NFTs with their crypto assets. So they choose their risk tolerance, they choose their desired farms. So if you want like a super, super safe battle, you might pick a stablecoin farm, a single asset stablecoin farm. If you want like a more degen kind of battle with a higher APY where you're exposed to some impermanent loss, then you might choose the LP farms. So this generates yield for the duration of the battle. Then in stage 3, the arena will pair your NFT with a random opponent. So this ultimately creates this stream of cross-community engagement, which is kind of lacking from the NFT space at the moment. There's not a lot of cross-community engagement, and there is no universal arena for NFT projects to come together and compete against each other. So you could be against a Bored Ape, you could be against a CryptoKitty, you could be against anything in between. So it's really exciting from the user experience perspective as well. So in stage 4, this is our utility for the token. So voters can boost their votes with the Zoo token. So in stage 2, you'll be able to vote on your NFTs with crypto assets, or anyone can vote on any NFTs with crypto assets. And then in stage 4, you can match those votes in dollar value with Zoo. So to the dApp, our programmed utility value for Zoo is $1. Then in stage 5, the winners are based on probability. I'll just move this down here. So in this case, the CryptoKitty has less votes. He's the underdog in the battle, but he's actually won. So you can imagine how exciting this is for the CryptoKitty, because he's won his own yield, and he's won the crypto's yield, who's generating a huge amount more yield than the CryptoKitty can generate with his assets. So he's essentially he's essentially getting 4 months of yield for 1 month of yield on his part, which is very exciting, adding that element of gamification to the yield.
Yeah, it is. Very cool.
Yeah, so then the winners claim the rewards, and the cycle just repeats. So the real goal of ZooDAO is to allow your NFTs and assets to work for you in a gamified way. Once you stake, once you vote, and once you boost with Zoo optionally, then you can just leave your NFTs and assets battling for you forever. So you can kind of go to sleep at night thinking, oh, my crypto kitty is finally doing something for me, which currently it might not be, unfortunately.
Is there a way to help push to get votes for your NFT? Like, can you, if I have my NFT staked, can I post like links like, hey, vote for my NFT, or is that how does that work?
Yeah, you can encourage votes, and this is how people are going to win more battles, is by, encouraging anyone can vote on any staked NFTs. So you can you can encourage your friends to vote for it. You can encourage your community. You can encourage your grandmother to vote on your NFT if she's crypto savvy. Why not?
Why not?
So yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
I love it. That's really cool.
Nice. So yeah, this is the market opportunity. So it kind of needs no introduction, but I'll go through it briefly as well. The NFT volume in 2022 was $24.7 billion. So that's just massive amounts of money that isn't really interacting with DeFi. And then in 2021, I believe the peak sales on Ethereum were $69 billion. So just an enormous market that's kind of untapped by current projects and protocols. And these are some of our partnered co-announced collections. And you can notice like the immense amount of Ethereum volume that they're doing. So we believe at least some of this liquidity and assets can flow to ZooDAO by offering them a permanent solution to NFT utility and gamifying their interaction with DeFi. And then the DeFi TVL is in 2022 was 47 billion, and we believe we can capture some of this liquidity by offering higher yields on average than the DeFi protocols we're building on through our Zoo incentive subsidies. So this is super important. So to me, there's like two users of ZooDAO. There's one who's like the NFT audience. They want to interact. They want a purpose for their NFTs, and we give them a strong purpose for their NFTs and let them show it off to other communities. Then there's the more astute investors who want the highest possible returns for their assets. And what we do is we vampire this liquidity as well and bring it to ZooDAO by offering them the best yields for their assets. And also the gamification elements definitely helps as well.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
I guess I have one quick question. I'm just kind of curious. So when you stake your NFT, is it locked for a certain period of time? Can you pull it out anytime you want? How does the staking actually work, and how long is the commitment?
Yeah, so a battle currently lasts 21 days, and that's all changeable via governance. But the reason why it's 21 days is that you need time for significant yields to generate. Because if it was 1 day, then it would be like a few cents per battle, and then you'd be paying the gas fees.
Yeah. Not worth it.
So in stage 1, that last 3 days, you can stake and unstake your NFTs. But once stage 1 ends, your NFTs and assets are locked until the stage 1 happens again. So it's a 21-day period, and then you have a 3-day window of unstaking.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Cool. So yeah, just to go into the Zoo token, which some of your listeners might be interested in, it's driven by pure value, pure utility value and competition. So it's not like a token that we're using to just boost the APYs to like trick people into the dApp. It's actually got very, very clear use cases. So governance is one of them. So the community collectively determines new NFT collections and integrations for DeFi protocols and chains for ZooDAO to deploy on, with the aim of pursuing high yields and liquidity incentives. So ZooDAO's battle system can be clipped to basically any DeFi protocol on any chain, which is really, really exciting from a future development perspective.
It is.
And you can imagine that it might be advantageous for some of these DeFi protocols and chains, since ZooDAO is like a liquidity attracting machine, for them to own Zoo, so they can sway the votes in favor of us clipping to their farms, to their protocols, to their chains. So that's one catalyst. So VE Zoo, some of your familiars might be super savvy with DeFi, some may be quite new. But essentially, we're taking VECRV's curves model, essentially this highly competitive and successful model, which ignites fierce competition for Zoo token locks. So essentially what this means is I'll be able to lock my, let's say 100,000 Zoo in support of my favorite NFT collection. And now, remember we spoke about the Zoo subsidy that gets released every battle season to NFT voters and NFT stakers. this is distributed according to this VE-Zoo token model. So essentially, when I lock 100,000 Zoo in support of the CryptoKitties will now earn proportionally more of that Zoo yield release every single season. So it means that they'll be more profitable to vote on and stake. So this creates a lot of competition for the Zoo token and Zoo token locks. So it drastically reduces the circulating supply and increases the demand. So XZoo.
Interesting. Yeah, so it's high utility. Yeah, people are going to be wanting the Zoo token to be able to apply that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because you can benefit not just yourself by locking it in favor of your collection, but you can benefit your entire community. And like the NFT communities, they're super, super strong. So they want to benefit each other, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, XZoo is another utility for the Zoo token. It's like a vault. It's like a really safe staking mechanism where you just stake the Zoo token and you earn a small percentage of the yield generated across all battles. So while it's not a direct price catalyst itself, it does reduce the circulating supply and takes float off the market. And then the battle utility we covered. So with Zoo, you can increase your chances of winning battles by boosting them at a 1-to-1 ratio with the dollar value votes on your NFT. So if I've voted on an NFT with $1,000, I'll be able to boost with 1,000 Zoo, and the votes are worth the exact same. So now if you can imagine ZooDAO's TVL at like $10 million, let's say, and the price of Zoo is less than $1 on the open market, then there's an arbitrage opportunity that people can see because they want to increase their voting power. Mm-hmm. And they can either, like, let's say I want to get from 1,000 to 2,000 votes. I can either buy 1,000 more dollars or USDC, or I can buy Zoo for $400, let's say, and I'll get the same amount of votes. So the smart people will probably notice this arbitrage opportunity up until $1, and then VE-Zoo competition is going to be the main driver behind the token price.
That's really smart.
Thank you. I can't take full credit, but I'll pass it on to the team. So we've got some pretty good supporters, but all of this is pre-launch, and I really want to stress to the viewers that like we have a big opportunity in front of us because ZooDAO actually benefits every single entity it clips to. So the DeFi protocols get all our liquidity, the NFT communities get the pure utility, and the NFT projects themselves actually get a 0.5% of the yield goes to them. So if their collection is being voted on by a lot of people, they'll have this permanent passive income stream from their community, essentially. So we have
so it's advantageous that all the different communities, they're going to be looking for you. The different NFT communities are going to be looking to come to you guys because they want it's advantageous. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Exactly,
and same with the DeFi protocols. And we don't actually have, since ZooDAO is like a new and novel project, we don't actually have any competition, any pure competition, which is really, really exciting. So
it's a nice place to be.
That is a nice place to be. Yeah. So we've got to move fast. But these are some of our supporters so far, and we're just getting started. We're pre-launch, as I mentioned, so you can expect this list to be growing quite rapidly. So yeah, ZooDAO's team and supporters. So we've got quite a large team. Some of these are part-time, some of them are full-time, but just to give you an idea of our skill, we've contributed to Lido, XDeFi, SpookySwap, Anchor Protocol, and many more. In addition, our two leading Solidity developers were responsible for architecting and building Russia's central bank digital currency. So I know some of your listeners might hate CBDCs. I'm personally against them myself, but I just want to get across that our developers are really, really skilled.
Big players.
Yeah.
Big players. Yeah. No, it's great.
And
it's amazing.
Yeah, in terms of our key supporters, like all of these guys have contributed in numerous different ways, but Brunus Fork would be the founder of Remark, which is like the NFT 2.0 standard, really, really cool tech stack, but he's massive in the DeFi scene, a DeFi OG, and big in Lobster DAO, which is like the big crypto telegram. And then Bored Elon Musk, he came on as an advisor recently, and he's like the perfect account for us to be involved with because he's really, really big in the NFT community. Massive account on Twitter, 1.7 million followers, and we're just delighted that he's gotten involved with us.
That's all bullish news. That's amazing.
Yeah. So I'll just one more slide before we wrap up the deck. So this is like the comparison. Moonwell is the protocol we're building on first, just for our V0. Then we're going to go multi-protocol very quickly. But you see yield farming alone for 21 days. You see how unhappy and sad these apes are in this slide. So you stake $5,000. It generates $43 over a 21-day period at a 15% APY. And then you claim 43.75. Staking alone just isn't as fun. But then when you're yield farming together, you generate that same amount. It goes to the prize pool plus $25 in zoo incentives. So in this case scenario, they have a 50% chance of winning. So this guy wins based on probability and claims $100 in total yield. So 2.28 times more than directly staking on Moonwell. And this guy loses, but he still gets to claim the zoo incentives for voting on and staking his NFT.
For sure.
So he's like, as you can see,
and he might win next time. So it makes it fun.
Exactly. Yeah, you can see his eyes are like slightly angry, but he's still smiling. So,
love it.
Yeah, and just a real quick, I guess the only other, it's really interesting, the only other platform which is offering like no loss DeFi yields, slightly gamified, is Pool Together. And Pool Together, like it currently holds 50 million in TVL, but they haven't really expanded or done anything with the model. So you can see how different it is. So essentially what Pool Together is like, it's like prize bonds where you stake your USDC and then it rewards like just a couple of lucky winners, which will take all of the yield and like win the lottery basically.
Sure.
But ZooDAO is a lot more flexible because there'll be thousands and thousands of winners every single season. And also they're using like 2% APY USDC on Aave, super low risk, super low yield. But in ZooDAO, the user can choose their risk tolerance. If you're a complete degen ape, we have something for you. If you want to play it safe, we've got something for you. So no consistent yield and slim chance of winning prizes. And then the type of staking is single staking, whereas we can stake with LPs, we can get involved in all of these complex DeFi strategies and just remove all that complexity to the user and just allow them to vote on the NFTs and farms that they want to. And then from a gamification perspective, there is no gamification or engagement. So we have this opportunity to create competition and engagement between not just NFT communities and people and projects, but also the DeFi protocols themselves are going to be competing for ZooDAO's yield.
Yeah.
So yeah, super exciting. So
that's amazing.
That's it.
You explained that about 10,000 times better than I ever could. So thank you so much for coming on and talking about it.
No
great.
Worries. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah, real pleasure.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, so you guys are going to be launching in the coming days, weeks, sooner than a few months. When you actually launch the token, when will people actually be able to start staking using the platform, putting their NFTs? Like, when will that go live, or is that kind of coinciding at the same time?
Yeah, so the token is actually already live. It's been live on Ethereum for quite some time, but there's basically no liquidity. So we're doing like a relaunch of the token on Moonbeam, and we're having like a yield farm, and we're gonna have deeper liquidity there, of course, than Ethereum. So all of this will be happening at the same time. So it's gonna be a really busy few weeks for us.
Yes.
So yeah, it will all be happening at the same time, and users can immediately, as soon as the battle starts, they'll be allowed to stake their NFTs. Then they'll be allowed to vote on them as soon as stage 2 begins. So definitely keep your eyes peeled, keep your ears to the ground, as it were.
Perfect. No, that's great. That's amazing. So, well, that's great. I think you answered all of my questions. I'm bullish on it. And viewers, if you have any questions, I'll leave some links to ZooDAO in the description of the video. Feel free to check them out. Check out their socials. I think you guys are super active, so I think if you have any questions, you can ask the team directly. And let us know what you think about ZooDAO in the comments below in the video of this video. So, but me personally, I'm incredibly bullish, and I'm excited for you guys to launch. So,
thank you, John. From the zoo to the jungle.
Likewise. Feel free to come visit anytime. There's always a place for you.
Definitely.
So, and then I don't know, Josh, do you have anything to end with? Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the community? For me, I think you explained it incredibly well.
Yeah, so yeah, as you mentioned, just come join our socials, say hi, ask questions, get involved, because now is like the
Yeah,
beginning of our very long journey to world domination. So
I love it.
so get on in here. Yeah.
I love it. Well, that's great. Well, hey, thank you so much for taking the time to come on to Cryptopia. And yeah, we look forward to having you back sometime soon. You know, we'd love to talk to you after you've launched and everything's moving forward. Maybe we can have you back on and we can talk about your progress. So,
For sure.
we really appreciate you coming. So, all
All
right,
right.
Cryptopians, Cryptopians, thank you so much for joining us, watching this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on that bell notification, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Ciao.